Say happy Friday, but I don't know if this qualifies, Dibs. It's Willard and Dibs, Dibs and Grandi on a Friday, and LeBron James is a Philadelphia 76er.
Well, there are people who didn't want him to be a Golden State Warrior, so for those people, it is a happy Friday, I think, from that standpoint. I just wonder if the report is true, Anthony Slater, and I believe him, like the Warriors have known for a couple of weeks that they are out in the LeBron chase, then I don't know. What are you doing other than watching Yaxel get double-doubles?
Not a whole lot, I suppose. You're probably making some calls. You're trying some things out, but nothing's working. Yeah, let me... So first of all, welcome in. It's Willard and Dibs. Dibs and Grandi with you. We got a lot to talk about as it relates to LeBron James because we finally have a decision. And I know this has been a painful few weeks for a lot of Warrior fans. I know it has been for me. I think for you too, Dibs. On one hand, I'm relieved we finally have a resolution and we have a decision. And as LeBron said, it's his last decision. He will not be making another. We'll see about that. I'll believe it when I see it officially. So that's on one hand. I'm glad that it's over, and I'm glad that we have something new to talk about as it relates to LeBron James. On the other hand, though, I convinced myself that it might be the Warriors, and more than might, I convinced myself that I think the Warriors were his preferred destination. And with Anthony Davis, they might have been, but the Warriors either were not interested or could not pull any move off of any kind of significant magnitude to convince LeBron James that he wanted to be a Warrior. And he signed the 2-year, $8 million deal with the Philadelphia 76ers, signs for the veteran minimum for 2 years with a player option. We'll see how long he ends up being a 76er, but again, he says this is his last decision, which means he likely is going to retire as a Philadelphia 76er, and we'll read his full statement in a little bit, Dibs, but the Cliff's Notes is essentially he wanted to win, and that was what was most important to him. And if that is truly how he feels, I cannot begrudge him because clearly Philadelphia is closer to winning a championship than the Warriors are.
And I think that they're closer than Cleveland and also closer than Miami. And I can't help but think about the LeBron narratives that we've heard from LeBron. And one of them was, my daughter, Zuri, who I believe will still live in LA. I could be wrong. Maybe they're going to go ahead and uproot their whole life and move out to Philly. But the fact that he wants to be close to her and he wants to be, that dad. He loves being a dad. And now you're going to be in Philadelphia and she will be in LA. And I can't imagine that they would move to Philadelphia. I know that they live in Brentwood and they are currently remodeling Howard Hughes's old house that they apparently went straight up Miley Cyrus wrecking ball and knocked the thing to the ground. So
wow, nice.
They're building a $28 million, $35 million, whatever mansion in LA. So I can't imagine that they would uproot their 12-year-old daughter and move to Philly for 2 years. And so the whole idea about, my daughter and I want to be close to her. And, she said, Dad, where are you going? I'm going with you. And now you're going to Philly? I don't know. It seems a little bit disingenuous.
It does a little bit. I mean, and he wrote in his statement, and let me just read a chunk of it for you. He says, "This is my last decision. I'm not going for money. I'm not going for family. What am I really playing for at this point? I still want to sacrifice. I still want to work. I still want to grind. I still want to compete to win and to have a chance at the feeling of winning another championship." So right there in his statement, which he tweeted out himself in a series of tweets right after Shams Charania broke the news, which also was a little bit surprising because I thought maybe he'd do it on his podcast, his wife's podcast, somewhere else, but it was kind of a normal free agency announcement and the breaking of the news was relatively normal. But he says not going for family. And that's the line that stuck out to me, Dibs, because as you're talking about what he said a week ago at New York City alongside Rich Kleiman was his daughter is carrying a lot of weight in this decision. And maybe, who knows, he asked his daughter for thoughts on where she would want him to go, how much it would be, terrible for her if he was on the East Coast or whatever. And maybe her answer eventually was, you know what, Dad, you can leave. It's fine. I don't need to see you every day. It's not that big of a deal. Maybe that was the answer. So for LeBron, that lessened the impact of being close to family. Who the hell knows? But I think what we can say definitively, Dibs, is the Warriors roster just simply was not good enough to convince LeBron James to come. Whether you want to blame them for not getting AD, for not getting Jaylen Brown, for missing on the Kuminga pick, the Wiseman pick, whatever the reason is, clearly the Warriors roster being not great gets the blame for this not working out.
And I get that, and you and I can go back and forth about, could they have done it over the last year, 2, 3, or 4 to make the roster more attractive? I think there's an argument to be made that, yes, they could have, but I also think about the reality of their situation where Wiseman, blown pick, Kuminga, mostly a blown pick, and maybe they misused him, and we're going to find out. But we'll find out if he turns out to be a good player elsewhere. Like James Wiseman, I don't even know if he's going to go to Europe and play basketball. He might just be straight up done. But I do look at what they did do with Mike Dunleavy, which is, Jimmy Butler. So you bring in Jimmy Butler, it works, and then you fall short because Steph got hurt, and then last year, Jimmy Butler tears his ACL. I do think if Jimmy Butler was still healthy and not injured, it becomes a much more attractive possibility for LeBron, but Jimmy Butler is out until, January, February, who knows how long, and all the teams that you wanted to trade Jimmy to, if you did, they want an actual player, so you're kind of stuck.
Yeah. So LeBron chooses the 76ers over the Warriors, signs a 2-year, $8 million contract. It's a vet minimum deal. So him talking about it's not about the money, that absolutely was true. And he went to the place where he thinks he has the best chance to win. It's Willard and Dibs, Dibs and Grandi with you. And here is the plan for today. It's you guys. It's Warrior fans. It's LeBron fans. It's anybody that wants to talk about LeBron James, his decision, and where it leaves you feeling as a Warrior fan. We'll make a promise. If you call to talk about that, we will get you on today. You just ask that you stay patient because a lot of you want to weigh in. And with that promise, let's get out to those phone lines, 888-957-9570. Ed is in Benicia and wants to join the conversation. What's up, Ed?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
All right, man.
So,
what about you?
I'm excited that LeBron did not come to the Bay. I didn't want him here at all. And on top of that, if you look at his history, going all the way back to high school, he didn't play for Ohio-based AAU team. He came all the way out here and played with the Oakland Soldiers because he was the number 1 player in the country, and Leon Poe from Oakland Tech was number 2. So from that standpoint, he has been consistent since high school, picking the teams that he thinks is the best that gives him a chance to win. I got no problem with him going to Philadelphia. Matter of fact, I'm glad he's in the East. Now, I hope that the Warriors don't decide to do a decision like bringing in DeMar DeRozan or Brad Beal, all those cats. Let them go somewhere else, and let's just try to do what we can do this year with what we got. The way I really feel, I hope Draymond goes to Philadelphia or somewhere else as well. I'd be happy to see him not on the team this year. I've been wanting him off the team for at least 3 years. So the bottom line is the idea of going younger, I think, is the way to go. Curry's got to make some decisions in terms of how much money he would want for his extension, and it's his right to decide to do whatever he wants to do in that particular arena. But overall, I'm happy that the Warriors are going forward. LeBron's in the East. At the end of the day, what I'd like to see for Curry more than anything else, and it doesn't have to happen this year, but I'd like to see Curry finish with one more championship than LeBron.
Yeah, Ed, I appreciate the call. I can tell you that's going to be really difficult to pull that off because in order for Steph to finish with one more title than LeBron, he has to win one more title right now, and LeBron has to not win one. And who's better positioned to win one right now? It's definitely LeBron.
Probably in this upcoming year, and I mean, if Steph goes somewhere else and wins a 5th, then, who cares about that if he actually gets more than LeBron? And I was just thinking earlier, and I said this to our boss, Matt Nahigian, that now that LeBron has decided on Philadelphia, you got to keep your eyes on the Philadelphia at Golden State game.
True.
And I do think that will be the Christmas game. And if you're the NBA...
You think? No, I mean, Philly's probably... It's either the Knicks or the Celtics.
You would think. I mean, I don't know.
Would be my guess.
If you're looking at the marquee game, it's always LeBron against Steph. And so maybe that wouldn't be the Christmas Day game. I think that the Warriors and Philly both would be on Christmas. And they do, 5 games on that day? Yes. But something about that game on that day is just so marquee. How do you resist it?
I would feel
maybe
that.
it's Philly at Cleveland.
I would feel that way if Philly or if LeBron went to, say, Cleveland or to Miami. Maybe that's it. But because he went to Philly and you have what happened in the playoffs last year between Philly and Boston, and you have the Jaylen Brown trade from Boston to Philly, you have the defending champion Knicks potentially against LeBron and Jaylen Brown and Maxey. Like, I feel like those are ones you can't miss. One of those will probably be opening night, and the other one will probably be Christmas, would be my guess.
I mean, pretty box office, and I'm just thinking about it, like Philly and Boston makes a lot of sense because Jaylen Brown,
exactly.
and he's no longer in Boston, but also like LeBron against Cleveland, because I was texting with our friend Nick Wilson, who does Cleveland radio out there. And
on the show with us a couple of weeks ago, when we were frustrated a couple of weeks ago it was taking so long, Dibs.
Right, and he actually texted me, he said, what has the reaction from you guys been on the Braun news? And I said, well, bummed. And also, I think fans are getting mad at the front office because they haven't done anything. And, the word is the Warriors have not been in the mix for weeks. And I said, what's going on in Cleveland? How you guys doing? And he said, it's a bloodbath.
I wonder if that means a bloodbath in everyone yelling at LeBron or being mad at the franchise, because
probably both.
Out here, it's mad at the franchise, Warrior fans.
Right. I mean, you can't be mad at LeBron, but...
No, you can.
You can.
Did he string us along? Did he ever really consider the Warriors? Was it a leverage play? Was it something? What was going on?
I wonder. And, the things that have stuck with me, and we can get into it as we go, like Draymond goes to Puerto Rico for 4 days with LeBron, and like nothing happens. And, Steph is in Tahoe, and it's like, yeah, I'd love to play with LeBron. He didn't say basketball. Maybe he was meaning golf. And, Anthony Slater says it's been weeks since they've actually been in on the deal. And LeBron says, I want to be close to my daughter. And now you're going to Philly. And meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors in the offseason have done absolutely nothing other than watch Yaxel put up double-doubles.
Don't worry. They re-signed Al Horford and D'Anthony Melton.
Apologies.
That's what and Kristaps Porzingis.
Big.
They're making all kinds of moves.
Yeah.
All right.